According to the survey, by 2030, 45% of working women aged 25 to 45 will be unmarried, childless or single. So what's the problem? You can ask, well, if you think by 45 you'll be single, childless, and actually living happily because you've made money, then good luck. Money hung up. But it is not the truth. By 2030, more than half of marriageable women aged 25 to 44 will be single for life. By the age of 2030, you will have no children and no marriage, which is a pretty steep slope. They were so convinced of this that they researched Morgan Stanley so their investors knew what to invest in the next decade so they could invest in wine and cash at the same time. We've been through this bingo before, where society tells us that at the end of our lives, we'll regret not having kids because there are so many blessings and blessings to have. I came across this article by Sarah Burdick, a 16-year-old nurse who had deep empathy for her elderly patients and learned from them that her own family put her in considered a burden. The top 5 things people regret when they die right now. Even in traditionally conservative countries, the quality of relationships has deteriorated so badly that people stop marrying and cohabitate for the rest of their lives. One of the countries with the highest fraud rates in the world is Thailand. We just want you to know that you think like a hope strategist. They hope that your final position may be better. As a citizen of industrial society, your new doctor only benefits from what populists think of him. They gradually understand that the key to the world is success, fame and wealth. If you have some or all of these qualities, you'll find it easy to gain and keep the ladies' affections. Since most women don't value men, I don't approve of partnerships in the dating world, but she will quickly move on to the next man who can support her. If you are unable to do so, why would I urge couples to meet and encourage globetrotting when the woman you end up dating could easily disappear from your life? You can't assume everyone in your country is like the woman you're trying to escape. If you're having trouble, remember there's no escape from social media. As a result, people all over the world are experiencing the same level of decadence that we do, and the number of single men and women is increasing in both countries. Given their conservatism and emphasis on family, it is reasonable to assume that their birth rates will remain stable. As a result, there are more single men and women than ever before. For the first time, I realized that China's restrictions on how many children a couple can have are at the root of the country's population growth. The current state of the dating environment is not rosy. In fact, today's report on the rise of unmarried men and women in China shows that courtship and marriage are on the decline. Regulations in modern Chinese cities should take into account the increasing numbers of people living alone. Honestly, it sounds like the beginning of a horror movie. Surname maintenance is very important in traditional Chinese society. So when their children are ready to marry, parents tend to step in, the one-child policy is enforced, and the state disappears. The single age stands in stark contrast to this reality. Many children let their parents down because of the recognized monomantic tendency of Chinese youth. The term leftover women is overused in Chinese popular culture, making parents of unmarried women even more anxious and stressful for their children. I find it interesting how both Chinese men and women struggle to conceive despite family structures and pressures to have children. I don't understand why it would be such a problem for men to inject women with gallons of fluid and have children if there were no media and no desire to destroy families. Since neither I nor anyone I know live in China, I may be wrong about the Chinese dating environment. Their problems are strikingly similar to those we have in the West. The younger generation may be reluctant to start a family due to the one-child restriction. However, we won't really know unless there is a strong demand for women in this field. I think people are reluctant to start new relationships due to the rising economy and cost of living. However, I don't understand how individualism can lead to poverty and isolation, since weaker societies are more likely to be oppressed. As a result, the vast majority of votes come from families who value passing wealth down through the generations. The rich and powerful can use their families to ensure their wealth and status continues after death. But because they are driven to act negatively towards others, modern women are so self-centered and blind that they destroy families, wealth ruined, and then run away with the money. The Bible says that the pursuit of wealth is the root of all evil. The fact that women keep filing for divorce out of gratification is a daily reminder that women are the weakest link in any relationship and that every family member can be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Elites always succeed in their endeavors. Unfortunately, most of us either get to that point or never. Ability to reach Li Chuan. The percentage of single-person households rose from 4.9% in 1990 to 14.5% in 2010 as women were unable to commit to relationships. According to a report, more than a third of China's 200 million unmarried adults were born in 2018 alone. The economy prospers as older people tend to live alone. The company's current focus is on the commercial and industrial sectors. Young people are leaving the agricultural workforce in large numbers due to development and the spread of economic opportunity. As a result of industrialization, there has been internal migration from rural to urban areas, and rural areas have undergone exceptional urbanization. As a result, younger generations are exposed to new lifestyles, including postponing marriage, expanding social networks, and starting families. Divorce rates have risen so far in 2019 as a result of this shift, and I expect comparable levels of divorce in 2020, ignoring the fact that the outbreak may have contributed to the rise. That's all for today. If you like these videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Until next time.